I wasted the majority of my 20s. And the reason for that was that I had a couple of core beliefs that really held me back from doing the things I wanted to do with my life. So in this video, I want to talk about the 3 beliefs that really cost me years in so many ways. The first belief I had for many years was that I must not be egoistic, because being egoistic is selfish, and therefore I always have to prioritize other people and what they want over what I want. This is what I believed. And I'm not exactly sure where this came from, but it led to me being like a people pleaser, someone who's always saying yes to people, someone who is putting himself last. And that also meant being someone who is not taken seriously by many people. I thought I had to be nice, and being nice meant not being myself, really. Again, prioritizing others. And I even got great feedback from many people. Like, you're so nice, that's so great that you put yourself last all the time. I got praise for that. So that became my identity, but that also led to me coming last all the time. Like, I never really allowed myself to put what I wanted up front. And that meant that I never really achieved anything I wanted to achieve, because I was constantly focused on what other people wanted rather than what I wanted. And that's a huge mistake, because nobody really cares for you that way. Nobody is going to make sure that you get what you want other than yourself. Even the people around you that are loving you the most, they are so busy with trying to take care of themselves that they don't really have the energy to take care as much of you as you are taking of them, if you're thinking like that. So I had to learn this the hard way. And only through suffering a lot from this, always coming last, always being the one nobody really looked after, because I wasn't looking after myself, took a lot of energy and made me pretty unhappy for a long period of time. Until the point where I realized, well, if I'm not taking care of myself, nobody will. So I eventually changed that. The second belief, and this is kind of tied to that, the second belief is that polarizing is a bad thing. You have to keep your head down and not annoy anybody. Sorry, I have to put my cat away here because she's trying to delete stuff on my PC. I would not allow myself to annoy anybody, because I thought, well, that's what good people do, right? We are always holding back our opinion. We are not fighting anyone. We are not annoying anybody. It's all about being nice and not polarizing in any way. So I avoided conflict at all cost, because conflict meant that I wasn't being being a good person. Whatever I thought that was true. I'm not even sure where this came from. But it surely has to do with the first belief I told you about. And this is true for so many people. Like, we are even told, in this society, we are told not to be too edgy and not to annoy people. Just be nice all the time, right? But that again leads to you not really having any personality, and also not being true to yourself, because no matter who you are not what society wants you to be. If you're true to yourself, a huge part of you will not like what's happening around you. And if you're always hiding that and pushing that down, that will make you sick and will make you pretty unhappy in life. And for some people, this is stronger than for others. Some people fit in more naturally than others. And especially for me, it was a big point. Like, I'm a pretty introverted guy, for example. And I have some views on some things in life that do not match with a lot of other people's views on life. But I would never really talk about it. I would always hide that. And I would never really allow myself to show my inner truth. Because I was afraid that people wouldn't like that. People would attack me for that, which probably is true. But also because I thought that's what a good human being is supposed to be. Someone who doesn't take themselves too seriously and always tries to fit in. And again, that will hurt you a lot. And then the third belief, and this actually held me back the most, is that I have to avoid failure at all cost. I truly believe this. I believed this, used to believe this. Because I thought, well, I'm not allowed to fail. Because if I fail, people will laugh at me, people will think badly of me. I have to deliver good results all the time. And I'm not allowed to be bad at anything, so I'm not allowed to fail. But here's the thing, no matter what you're trying to do in life, you have to be willing to fail, especially if you want to be good at something. Because without failure, you don't really learn anything. And that actually led to me not doing the things I wanted to do, because I was so afraid of being bad at it, of putting myself out there and people basically criticizing myself for it and saying, well, that's bad. You failed. You suck, right? So for many years, I didn't try all of the things I wanted to try. And I talked about this in the past before. Like, I wanted to write books, for example, but I never really dared to write because I always was in my head thinking about, well, what will the people think about me if my book isn't good enough? And that was holding me back so much. Or I wanted to start a YouTube channel like this one. I never really dared to do that because I thought, well, what if someone sees this and writes a bad comment? Or what if someone I know sees this and ridicules me for it? What if nobody watches? What does this say about me? Am I a bad person or am I a failure if it doesn't work out, right? So I wasn't allowing myself to do that. And with YouTube, that took me 31 years until last year, about the point right now, where I actually started with YouTube, getting over that fear of failure by exposing myself to it regularly. Because at one point I realized the only way to get good at anything in life is through failing, and failing a lot. So you have to be willing to fail. Also, and this is what ultimately helped me to overcome this, if you reframe what failure is, failure basically is the best way to learn something because it will show you what you did wrong, so the next time you can do it better. Failure actually is a good thing because, again, it will teach you the most valuable lessons in life. And when I realized this, I finally overcame that mindset of avoiding failure at all costs. And that allowed me to eventually take action on my dreams and what I wanted to do. Fail forward. Embrace it. Have a good day.